Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today, I am visiting with my amazing community friend, just an awesome collaborative partner all over the Chattahoochee Valley, Dr. Barry Poyner. I tell you, you are everywhere doing everything. You are the Narcan man, the lifesaver. We got to get that costume made for you. So when we take you out in the community, it's just like Barney. You know, everybody knew who Barney was.
Right.
Yeah, so
right.
we need to do that. That's your brand.
Yes.
But you have been doing this for how many years now?
Well, this is a 4-year grant, and we're about halfway through that grant now.
All right.
And so it's your grant money at work. It's a combination, a cooperation with SAMHSA, which deals with mental health.
And SAMHSA
also,
is the federal government.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, providing that grant money. You know, there was a short period of time, Gloria, I thought I was going to be out of work because the grant was canceled earlier this year for 2 days, and then guess what? 2 days later, it was restored.
Right.
So I'm out and about because you never know when those grant monies can be taken from you, even though they were allocated.
Exactly, and that is why it's important for people that don't understand grants and grant writing. We have an amazing, the best, I say, in the southeastern United States. Your boss, Dana, your team leader, she's don't like to say she's the boss, but she is, Dana Solomon, and she's an excellent grant writer, and so she's writing the grants to provide all of these free services.
Yes.
Folks don't understand you have to have measurable results.
There you
when
go.
you get federal dollars, state dollars, local dollars, you should be able to document the success of the grants to continue. And as you shared with me in another conversation, we never want to give grant money back, because that means that you didn't successfully execute the mission of the grant.
We want to trust but verify.
Yes.
So we try to document everything that we do. And this grant, again, is established to the greater Columbus area to get the Narcan out, especially to first responders.
Right.
Volunteer fire departments, for instance, they don't have the money to maybe necessarily
And now you've
buy.
added something else, because we didn't have that on our last visit.
Yes, these also are pouches that can be placed on your belt or also on your vest for first responders. And the reason is they would be able to keep it climate controlled, because we know the efficacy, the strength, the veracity of it is protected if it's climate controlled. You can still keep it in your dash, and I keep some in my own glove box, but nonetheless it's better if you can keep it climate controlled. So also that way it's on the person and it's also a way that I can help my first responders.
So you all are doing a lot, and then you have these, the bags.
Yes.
And then you have this.
Right. Well, this is actually what the flow. It looks. This is what my Narcan looks like. I almost said Flonase, and it was a Freudian slip. Right. And so, but this is the way that one administers. It's very easy. It's one, you don't prime it. It's just one hit in one nostril. Wait 2 to 3 minutes. Use the other one in the other nostril if needed to bring somebody back to. What it does is it inhibits the opioid receptors in the brain to bring somebody back. But you can still overdose if you have too much in your system. So this is why we say call 911. Also, AED boxes. I now have Narcan stickers, both in English and also actually I have it in Spanish as well.
That's important.
And also literature concerning how to administer things.
Because we do have some Spanish-speaking businesses in our community.
True, and the South Side particularly has a sizable population.
Yes, and that's where your church, and that's where you are a partner in education, and that's where you picking up paper and doing all that for free. I want to say that. But do you think we need this in other languages?
Those are our predominant languages
in our area. So in probably some other parts of the country, like New York, you would have it in many other languages.
Possibly could. Now on our website, which is really through the city, you can actually select, they have any number of languages, and you can actually just click on that little dot, and you can get all kinds of languages at your disposal.
So it'll change over.
On our website.
Right. Okay, because that's very important for people. I know coming through Fort Benning, we have a lot of people coming. It used to be, I guess, the School of the Americas, WINSEC, or whatever they're calling it now. I don't really know.
Yes.
But we never know if someone's in a restaurant, like you're saying, over on the south side where you are, with your church family.
Well, that's a good point. I have a French-speaking lady. She's from Haiti, and it's more Creole, really.
Right.
And so every Sunday I give her a bulletin or a paper in French as well. Because
so are you translating that for her?
No, I have a good friend that's in charge of French missions in Nashville, Tennessee, and so
See how connected you are.
He gave me a stack of these to be able to give to her.
Really?
So if I know, I try to meet the needs of the organization or the person. If I know what you need, that's audience analysis. If I know what you need, then I'll try to go to links to get that for you.
Isn't that something? Now that is beyond the call of duty. I'm very impressed with that. No, really I am, because we don't want to leave anyone out.
That's right.
You can be sitting in a room and still be left out.
Yeah.
And that we have to be inclusive of people.
True.
Because we're all on this planet, and that's what the rent we pay.
Yes.
For being on this planet. You are just amazing. I tell you, a good example, young people, of servant leadership. Everything that you do, you don't always have to get paid for it in earthly pay.
That's right. And there's so many good volunteers. See, I not only help first responders, but also all these ministries that are also reaching these populations at risk.
Exactly.
And so I want them protected as well in case they come upon an accidental exposure, because whatever that person may be overdosing on may still be in the vicinity.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure that they are protected.
All right. Well, I thank you so much. You're amazing. And what we're going to do is go to our break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road. Trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com.
The state of Georgia averages 5 fatalities a day for motor vehicle crashes. Out of all 50 states, Georgia ranks 21st in impaired driving fatalities. Remember, buzz driving is impaired driving.
Be a team player, designated sober driver.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Greg Countryman. Make the right choice. The ball is in your hands. Stay sober and don't get pulled over.
Welcome back to Straightforward. I always enjoy my annual visit with our amazing community partner from the accountability courts, the coordinator of the P.O.R.C.H project. You've probably seen him at the football classics, at the community health fairs, at the schools. I mean, you are everywhere. And your latest adventure was the P.O.R.C.H project was at
the P.O.R.C. Fest.
The P.O.R.C. Fest, which was a music fest.
It was wonderful.
Downtown Columbus.
Yes.
Well, you are really working this grant, and the numbers support your work. To date, you've given out how many of these?
We have doubled what we did in the first year.
Really?
And so we gave out 10,000 vials last year, which doubled what we did the previous year. And we're on target this year to give out 1,000 vials per month. That's a personal goal. And we're on target to do that. We've been achieving that. And so we're making more and more partners. Programs like this bring it to people's attention. This is your tax dollars at work. And I don't want to give any grant money back. I want to saturate the area.
Exactly, because if you ever give the money back, that's a bad grade for people that understand grants.
Yes.
And with you all, you successfully use the funds, and you can measure because you have doubled every year.
Yes.
And your outreach and all of the organizations, because normally if you're somewhere, you were just at the Salvation Army, you're going to email me pictures. It's like, okay, I was here and I was there, which is good.
Yes.
Because a lot of those social service and nonprofits that you work with, they have direct contact with people that might be at risk.
Yes. Well, we sometimes say trust but verify.
Yes.
And that's accurate in many fields, including those trying to improve themselves. But I've done a little bit of everything in my lifetime, including retail merchandising.
Okay.
And so I used to have to stack cards, you know, for one well-known card company.
Right.
And so I'd always have to take a picture, particularly around the holidays, and show my boss that I had gotten the display up.
Exactly. Documentation beats conversation.
I'll give you a good example of that. When we sometimes say, since we're in Columbus,
Right.
Georgia, we may sometimes say, well, Christopher Columbus maybe didn't discover America, but
Right.
he knew how to document. I was in Spain one time,
Right.
and there's a park there. Every sailor's name that were on those 3 ships is inscribed on
Really?
that monument. So I said, he maybe didn't discover it, but he knew how to document it.
And that's the key. As we would say in the old school, you got to show your work.
There you go.
You have to show your work. If you show your work and it's clearly documented, then no one can, you know, they can, but they won't win when they try to say you're not meeting the goals of the mission.
Gloria, let's remind people that the P.O.R.C.H project stands for Providing Overdose Reversal to Give Columbus Hope. And
Say
that's
that again.
P.O.R.C.H, Providing Overdose Reversal to Give Columbus Hope.
Okay.
P.O.R.C.H. And the idea is that we need to be open, really, with our community and
Yes.
just be honest and straightforward.
You can tell you have a background in communications. No, and that's the conversations, as we were saying before we went to the break. Parents, family members, and other business leaders need to understand this is a universal problem.
Right.
This is not something specific to people that are homeless, substance abuse users, or any social class or ethnicity.
Right.
This is across the board.
Yes.
And as I was sharing with you in a conversation earlier this week, as a former military spouse, officer's wife, there were a lot of the officers' wives back then that were using prescription drugs. The thing back then was Valium and all of that, and then you take that and mix it with alcohol.
Right.
Just because they didn't go to the street corner to get it did not mean they didn't have a substance abuse problem.
Those interactions, I mean, people don't necessarily try, I mean, they're not trying to commit suicide, but they accidentally, you know, pass away because of that. I was in Buena Vista recently. Marion County is one of the counties that we go to.
Right.
And one of the EMTs came up to me. He says, Barry, the protocol these days is if we find an older person, particularly that's passed out, we use Narcan immediately.
Okay.
Because he says we know that they're on so many high-powered opioids that it could very well be that they didn't document, they didn't keep it.
The last time they took the pill?
When they, and they could have taken too much or had an interaction. Now listen, my mother's had, I tell my mother, I use her as an example all the time. My mother is 83, she's had cancer now 4 times. She's been in stage 4 for quite a while now. She's
a tough cookie.
She first began she first was diagnosed with cancer at age 65. And then she tells us the girls are gone. She had that double mastectomy, you know, and she's got a good sense of humor and that's kind of helped her persevere. But Mom keeps a tally here of it. But listen, I'm not going to tell Mom not to take a pain pill.
If she's in pain.
If she's in pain.
Because she's had cancer, what, 4 times?
Right. Now here's the thing. If you run out of your pain medication, sometimes the law, we try to prescribe things by law to help the situation, and sometimes we've made it worse. Because now you can't go to that pharmacist and
because your time is not up. They can only give it to you.
So where are you going to go? Because you're in pain, you're going to self-medicate. Somehow it could be that you borrow a pill. You ask, where did that pill come from?
Exactly.
That's where we get into problems. It's not the pharmacy, it is the street drug or the pill.
Somebody's friend gave them.
Somebody's friend.
And that's a dangerous thing.
And as we kind of alluded to in our other segment there about then those leftover pills, let's say that you aren't like my mom and you don't have an ongoing problem in need, but you had a short term, but you wanted to save those pain pills. The thing is, somebody could get into those pills.
Right.
It could even be a little toddler that gets into
like the ones you left on the placemat.
That can
happen. And you have grandbabies. You didn't see it because it blended in with the placemat. Then you said there was one on the floor.
Right.
All that could take is just one of the babies
where I
picking it up.
accidentally knocked it.
Right.
And so what I'm trying to get at is that there are many entities around in our counties here in your viewership that have drug take-back programs where you can take your drugs there, and many times you can register. They have prizes and giveaways to make it fun.
Fun, yeah.
And so you can go to drug take-backs. We recently had one with Georgia Public Health here. I'm often working with our folks across the way, Integria, particularly on the Phoenix City area, and they often will have events as well where you can take back. But there are even dispensaries now and machines in which you can place them, and I'm pretty sure Valley Healthcare has that on Fort Benning Road, where you can go and you can take your medications
and just put it in the little deposit box or whatever it is, and that way it's not left around.
Right.
I know the sheriff has the drug thing, and not a few weekends ago was at the public health department.
Yes.
And the sheriff department was there, and you could go through and take your drugs. People need to pay attention to that, because you could be saving the life of one of your family members, and particularly your grandbabies.
Yes.
Because those are high-powered drugs.
Right.
And that's different if an adult get it than if you got some 50-pound baby. That's a whole different thing for some of those pills.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what we're going to do now is go to our final break to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors.
Even at lower speeds, a crash between a bicyclist and motor vehicle can cause broken bones and traumatic brain injuries. Busy intersections are particularly dangerous for cyclists. Wear a helmet, stop at red lights, use hand signals, yield to pedestrians. Bike safe, bike smart.
Paid for with grant funds from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
New Horizons Behavioral Health, building better lives in the Chattahoochee Valley, providing services to persons with mental illness, developmental disabilities, and addictive diseases. Located in the Health and Human Services Building, 2100 Comer Avenue, Columbus, or call 706-596-5500. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a 5-star commercial service with satisfied customers in Georgia and South Carolina, built on the principle that every detail matters. Barbara's Cleaning Service, a new season building a family legacy. The Framing Factory and Art Gallery for professional framing and decorative art, located in Lake Bottom, 1325 17th Street, or call 706-324-3823. And welcome back to Straightforward. It is always just a great visit with the amazing Dr. Barry Poyner. Besides working with the P.O.R.C.H project, going to 5 million events, besides being with your regular office routine, you in your personal life, which I really applaud you for this. You always share that with me too. You are trying to do outreach in one of our communities that is in some pockets social and economically disadvantaged. You have established a partnership with your church with one of the elementary schools. I saw where you had your little garden going and everything. I say, look at there. You have your Bible club. I mean, you really do a lot outside of what you're paid to do. See, that's what servant leadership is. You know, if you only do something when you're getting paid, it's not a judgment, this is a statement of fact. If it's only when you're getting paid to do something, or you're doing it for a photo op, then that's not servant leadership.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying. We do feel that even our work with the city and the grant is a ministry. I just view it that way,
yes.
like I'm working for the Lord. I
yes.
know your program's on Sunday morning.
Well, that's okay.
And, so,
and that's what a lot of this is,
yes,
you know,
yes.
because I could be doing people as entertainers and
right.
all of that, but I try to educate and inform the community on things that will be helpful to them. And then sometimes we highlight people that are doing great things in the community.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying. We do feel compelled and feel needed on the south side of Columbus. And so we do work with the South Columbus Elementary School and great folks there. And then also we've done some work with Eddy Middle School.
Okay.
But we mainly are focusing, we have a partner in education participation through the Chamber of Commerce there with Principal Griffin, Victoria Griffin, and she's great. And so she recently approached us and she says to me, she said, Barry, can we see your auditorium? She said, I think we'd like to have our individual class graduations there.
Really?
And so it's been a real joy seeing this past week, we've been working with them and seeing the kids march over.
Oh, teaching them how to march like we did in college. And you know, in high school, that's a big deal, is learning how to do that march.
Well, I told Victoria, I said, well, let me make sure I get out there and pick up the litter on the street. I've adopted 3, going to what you're saying, sometimes, and I'm not in any way saying that these aren't good programs. Sometimes we say, well, let's have this annual pickup of the trash. Listen, folks, we got to pick it up weekly. Maybe more than that.
Exactly.
And so adopt some Metra bus stops and clean them up. I've adopted 3. And so I get out there with my stick and pick up the trash.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so along the route.
You didn't send me a picture of that. I need
give you some data.
I know, I need that picture.
And so but again, if we're going to make Columbus better, it can't be through an annual event. It's got to be through weekly, daily
work.
So we're working on the south side particularly, and we just feel needed. And Valley Healthcare, and giving them a plug, they do such a great job.
Yes.
We're working with Oakland P.O.R.C.H Community Neighborhood Association as well, trying to improve. We have a lot of neighborhood associations. Get involved with those and
make a difference, because what you didn't know is my husband, when he was second lieutenant, lived in Oakland Park.
Okay.
And that's before they did the whole Oxbow Meadows thing.
Yes.
But on the back street, there was this apartment complex, and most of the military officers that were coming for the basic officers training course lived in that apartment complex, right there in Oakland Park.
Yes.
Because it was the gate. You could get through the gate very quickly. A lot of retired military people lived in Oakland Park. That community has not kept up, you know, and it was a beautiful place with beautiful homes.
Right.
So I'm glad that, I know that's where your church family is, but you don't have to be in that part of town. You choose to be in that part of town because you see a need.
Right.
What you're doing in your daily work with the accountability courts and the P.O.R.C.H project through the drug court really helps with what you're doing. Those things marry, in my opinion, with what you're doing with the Bible Club, what you're doing with the garden. I got to see what comes out of that garden.
That community garden is I love it. I told you I was in the Future Farmers of America years ago. In fact, I must confess, you have to add a project. My project was tobacco. I grew a tobacco crop.
Did you really?
Yes. I never smoked myself or chewed, but I did grow that.
But was that popular with where you came from?
From Kentucky.
Okay, so that's a Kentucky thing.
It was. And so with the kids over there, we sometimes sing a little song, please don't smoke, please don't smoke, give your tobacco to a billy goat. Please don't drink, pour your liquor down the kitchen sink. Now, here's the thing.
And you're teaching that. I love that.
Well, tobacco and alcohol are legal products.
They are.
So getting back
but they're addictive.
Very addictive, but we're getting back to our notion here that really any compound, even if it's water, can be abused.
Right.
And so we got to make sure that we do things responsibly. I even tell people, I said, because I taught public speaking for 36 years, and I had a lot of speeches. You know, people would talk about, well, here's how you do it. You're going to have a designated driver.
Right.
And, you know, maybe I'll do my drugs or whatever, and somebody else not do those. Well, here's the thing about it. I used to say, well, why is MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, why are they against designated drivers programs?
Right.
And it's because it does not teach responsible drinking.
Okay.
It said get drunk and let somebody else.
Right. Right.
And so I'm going to be honest. I would always say, well, I'm not going to be a designated driver, and I'm going to be frank about it. I don't want someone vomiting in my car. You know, I just don't want it. And
you are teaching life on life's terms. It's like, just let's be plain and clear, so people are not confused about what the message is.
Well, that's it. That's it. And I used to, Sojourner Truth, you may know, was an abolitionist, but she also smoked a pipe.
Right.
And so, see, people used to sometimes say, well, how do you expect to get to heaven, you know, with smoker's breath? And she replied, I expect when I get to heaven, I'll give my breath up.
Oh,
you know. So I think she's right. And we all have things that we're dealing with.
Exactly.
And it's easy to pick on somebody else's vice when we don't have it.
Exactly.
That temptation.
Exactly.
So let's work on our individual ones and try to do better. But it's not just the down and out, it's also the up and out.
Ooh, what you say?
See, because people that are gifted, just think about the musicians, the artists and so forth that have really succumbed, had overdoses because they're looking for some kind of meaning in life.
Exactly. So, trying to fill those holes.
Right. It's not just...
Right. We got what? Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Elvis Presley.
There they go.
And all of those people around them.
Right.
It's like, did you all not see?
Yes.
You had to see.
So it's just not the down and out, but it's also the up and out. I tell people it's like Zacchaeus. He was climbing up in. He wanted to get high so he could see the Lord. You know. And so here's the thing: people are looking for meaning, and they're finding it in the wrong places.
Looking in all of the wrong places.
I've even gone up and down Victor Drive to all the hotels and motels.
Really?
I had one hotel, I won't name them. They said we don't have that kind that come in here.
What you say?
And I'm thinking, really? You don't? Are you searching their bags to see what they're bringing in?
Exactly.
I said, you need to have Narcan here, if nothing else, to protect your employees. And if you're an employer, I would beg you, have some Narcan there, because you don't know who's going to enter into your business. And you want to protect also those that you're working for, particularly if they're cleaning the rooms and coming in contact
with things they don't know.
Yes, protect your workers.
Well, I applaud you for all of the great work that you do. You just have this amazing personality, this bright light wherever you go. I will always support you, because I know you're doing it for the right reason, from your heart, and you're out there doing things that this organization is not paying you to do. You're going beyond and above the call of duty. And I thank you so much for your great example of servant leadership.
Thank you.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.
How important it is that everyone have Narcan in their homes, businesses, churches.
Yes.
We're giving it to churches because we don't know what we don't know. And so you are out and about, and this is your, second year?
This is the second year. This is a 4-year government grant that's a partnership with SAMHSA. They may be changing that name.
Okay, so SAMHSA is government funding.
Yes.
Right, it's not state or local. For that group, say to the audience once again, we're bringing hope. So P.O.R.C.H stands for what?
Providing overdose reversal, P.O.R., to bring Columbus hope.
Okay, that is really, and I didn't realize that. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're boots on the ground. You are out in the various counties in the metro area.
Yes.
And this is funded through a grant.
Yes, through SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health